Hey, welcome to 42. I'm Chris. That's Mike. Hey, I actually pointed the right direction this time. Mike's still getting something together for me. Oh, now you're starting to send it here.
All right. I'm good.
Getting stuff together for our best guesses here. This is probably going to be your favorite episode ever, most likes ever, because it's going to be the shortest ever. It's going to be about an hour. I've got my daughter visiting me, and for the first time in a year and a half. So, just going to make a quick episode this year, and I mean this whole year. It's just gonna be quick episodes.
Nope.
I mean, all my friends tell me we go on too long anyway. So,
well, Corey and Donnie both said that. So tonight's episode is only going to be 2 hours and 45 minutes instead.
No. It's gonna be. I'm gonna cut you off. I'm gonna tell you shut up and just end the thing right off the bat. You won't even see it coming.
That's fine. I have a date at 10 o'clock to play Corey and Donnie's game that they signed with Floodgate. With Katia, so I need to get out too. So,
Awesome, good. Well, then we'll blame you. If you haven't watched 42 before, we usually go real long, but 3, sometimes 4 hours. Have we gone 4 hours before?
Oh yeah, multiple times.
We've gone 4, maybe twice.
Yeah,
once with Peter, once with Lance, I think. How many of these are you sending me? 6?
You should have.
I got 7.
Yep.
All right.
I just sent the 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep.
All right.
In order from top to bottom. So.
All right. He's sending me images I'm going to be sharing with you guys while he's asking me questions, or giving me a guess to go through. So before I forget, always like, subscribe, all that stuff.
All that
important stuff that really isn't important, right? We got a few people in chat already. Say hi to everybody.
Comments. I haven't seen anything. It just does the private. No, I don't have any chats. Any comments?
Oh no! I don't see comments yet. I'm just seeing people watching.
Oh, cool. Well, that's good. Yay! Say hi. You're in the comments. Say hi.
So we know we got people in Discord too.
I don't see any of that stuff. I see the live counter, and then whatever you decide to do with the images, whatever, and that's all I see. So
there you go.
Whatever you allow me to see. Shout out to Katia for making this phenomenal image for QSCon 2021. I had it printed up today, and it looks amazing. So thank you for doing that for me.
Very cool. Is that He-Man right next to it?
It is. Nope.
Okay, that's a cool one. That's one of those bigger ones, huh?
Yeah, the 10-inch one.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? Kabuki Kid.
He's going to fall today.
Thanks for stopping by.
I didn't tell you because I wanted it to be a surprise. Because I knew you were watching tonight.
So we're just going to talk board games and stuff. Maybe a little Star Wars, maybe a little games, RPGs, whatever comes across our bubbles in our brains.
In under an hour.
In under an hour. We're going to squeeze it all in. So to do that, let's get started. We going to let the chat continue. Let's get started. So the first thing that we typically do, okay. I am going to talk about that. Yeah. So have you seen the trailer for that? I put it in our Discord.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, it looks really good. I thought I wasn't going to be impressed by it whenever I heard that it was going to happen, because when I think about, the old one, I kind of don't even want to go back and watch the old one because I loved it as a kid and awesome. Is that the Sorceress or She-Ra? That's She-Ra, isn't it?
Yeah.
But looking at that preview, that looks awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's got to live up to today's standards, right? It couldn't have it couldn't have fallen short because it would have been laughed out. So
Well, but it actually looks like it's got some real story to it. That's what I'm impressed with.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just episodic, you know, what Skeletor up to this time and knock him back and then that's it kind of thing. It looks like it's got some overarching stories and things like that. So that's going to be interesting.
I wonder if they're going to end every episode with one of those like now you know kind of things, like those moral kind of stories. At the end. It'll be
the more you know, or yeah.
Yeah,
I
there
don't
was
remember how they did it with He-Man.
thing at the end. It was always Stratos or He-Man would always come in and like teach us some sort of lesson as a kid growing up. So I wonder.
I hope not.
I think it would be kind of cool if they did like a little 2-minute.
I think they're taking out the wackiness a little bit. Although you still have was it Many Faces had the eyeballs that kind of spun and stuff like
Triclops was the eyeball.
Triclops.
Triclops had the many
faces had the many faces. Yeah.
Yep.
You can't take the wackiness out of all of them, you know,
Nope.
without changing them completely. But yeah, very excited for that. When is that coming out? August?
I think it just released at 9:00 tonight. So
really?
No.
Well, then I got stuff to do.
I was kidding. I was just kidding.
All right, canceling the show, ending broadcast right now. I got my finger over the button.
Too easy.
Yeah. I watched Kevin talking about it. Kevin Smith. He's a co-writer or the head writer. I'm not sure, but and producer maybe.
Like the Dave Filoni of it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Hopefully.
I hope. Yeah. I'm a big, as most people know, I'm a big hockey jersey fan, and Geeky Jerseys just announced that they're doing some line with him, which is pretty cool. So I hope it's not Bluntman and Chronic based. I hope it's other stuff, like maybe Fat Man or something based. It would be pretty fun.
Yeah, it seems like a long time coming. He's been wearing those jerseys since forever, right? Since Clark.
That's his thing, hockey jerseys and that.
So let's get into our best guesses.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
So what we do whenever it's just me and Mike, no guest, we like to make a guess about each other. What's that? Oh. We like to make a guess about each other. Sometimes it's highly structured multiple choice stuff, and sometimes it's just kind of like what your favorite thing is. In my case, we're going to do mine first, right?
Yep.
So in my case, let me share my screen. I have a multiple choice for you.
Ooh. Okay.
So the question is,
I'll turn this down so she's not as blurry.
You must choose one of these powers and weaknesses.
Oh, is it like a combo? Like I can be invisible, but I smell or something?
Man, that's okay. Here's the first one. Mind control, but you throw up every time you see a tree.
What? All right.
B, super speed, but you are always sticky.
All right, I have questions.
What's the question?
Well, like, is it a picture of a tree or is it an actual tree?
I'd say actual tree.
Like, if I'm always sticky, do I get like dust particles stuck on me when I'm walking?
Yeah.
Oh,
always sticky. Yeah. Okay. Next. More questions.
Next.
All right. Flight, but you have no spatial awareness and you will always be lost. Teleportation, but you get the hiccups for 24 hours afterwards.
Like, if I teleport, I get the clock starts now, and if I teleport an hour from now, it starts over again?
Yes. And it's like the big hiccups, not like a little bit, but like you can't even complete a sentence without the hiccup kind of thing. And then, wow, you nailed that one.
Oh,
Invisibility, but you always smell like wet cat food. Now, before you say which one you would pick, I want you to think about it. I'll try to read your mind with mind control and not look at trees.
Are you gonna
I guess that's telepathy, right? I'm going to guess. Well, let me know whenever you know what you're going to pick.
I don't know. These are all awful.
You have to pick one now.
I see that.
You're about to be bestowed these powers and weaknesses. I'd like to see what the chat says. Katia says C and D are the best ones. Best ones for you to pick, or the best ones to laugh at if he had it? What would you pick, Corey? Ooh, teleportation for sure. Even with the hiccups? Oof, I don't know. That can start hurting after a while. Like after an hour of hiccuping, it's like, oh.
After like 4 hours of the hiccups, don't you die?
I don't know if that's true. We'll say that you don't die from the hiccups if this is the case, but
right. Yeah, I got mine. I guess
it's true. I'm watching what the people say here.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
C or D had the least. No one's picking A, huh?
A sucks, especially if it's like a picture of a tree.
I said it has to be a real tree.
If I see a tree in my mind, do I throw up?
Yes, if you're mind controlling someone, you're seeing through their eyes, and they see tree, you and the person you're mind controlling throw up.
No, because all I'm not thinking about a tree makes me think about a tree, so I'll just constantly throwing up.
Yes. I know.
Nope. A is off the table. A is definitely
no. I don't mean in your imagination. You still have to physically see it. You can think about trees all you want, and no problem.
But still, pictures count.
Pictures don't count. No.
All right, so it has to be a physical tree.
Physical tree.
That's a little better.
Is it?
Well, I mean, you live in a city, right? And then you don't see trees.
And I got trees all over the place, and I live right in Houston, like the fourth largest city in the U.S.
Manhattan doesn't, unless you're over by Central Park. There's really not. Well, I guess.
Oh, really? Don't they have like little tiny trees, like every now and then? And
I guess. Plus, if I'm living anywhere near you, I know you're showing up with bonsai trees every other day. So
I'd have one day where I would take over the mind of like the biggest lumberjack ever and just go knocking down every tree within like a 2-mile radius. It'd be a bad day, but all right. Here is my guess. You already have what you're picking, right?
I have mine, yeah.
All right. My guess is teleportation.
Why?
Well, teleportation is awesome. And you could be like, okay, I'm going to go to like Europe, or I'm going to go to Essen. I just have to go a day before and suffer through 24 hours of hiccups. And then once that's done, I get a free trip. I mean, think of all the trips you get to take. You just kind of have to go a day early and suffer through that 24-hour hiccups.
Yeah, that's yep.
Is that what you pick?
Yeah, yep.
Nice.
Yeah, D is it's, and they already said it in the chat too. Like, it's the only one that, I mean, you can kind of smelling like cat food sucks. I mean, you could try and mask it, but no, absolutely not. Although invisibility would be cool, no, that's off. A, we already talked about. Super speed and being sticky. Like, sure, you can take a shower, but you're always sticky. It's not like you're sticky when you use super speed. That's
just always.
Nope. And then the spatial awareness with the flying, like that doesn't even make sense. Like, if I have no spatial awareness and I'm flying, I'm just flying into things constantly.
Well, you can see where you're going. You just don't know. You're just lost. And Donnie, I can actually cure hiccups too, but these would be super hiccups that can't be cured for 24 hours.
Yeah, I have to deal with it for 24 hours. Yeah, that's the answer. And for the exact reason, it's the only one that really is negative. It only happens when I teleport, and I have to just do everything 24 hours earlier than I want to. So because all the other ones are just straight ass, it's 10. It's D. 10.
You can still have fun flying. I mean, you could go up there and I can show you the world. You know, all the flipping around, and you can fly around buildings and wave at people. But when you land, you have no idea where you are or how you got there, and you'll have to find a map. And
But spatial awareness implies that I have no idea that a building is next to me and can fly right into it.
you can see, but like if you're not paying attention and you go right, you might hit one. Yeah, just pay attention.
Yeah, no, nope.
See, personally, I think I'd pick the flight, just because. I mean, think about it this way: someone goes to rob you, and you just go whee and fly away. Yeah, you might land somewhere you don't know where you are at first, but you can, break out the GPS and go, oh, okay, and call Uber and go home. Or
Nope.
no.
Nope, you didn't sell that one. It's still D.
All right. Well, at least I guessed it correctly.
Yeah, good job. Well, I mean, you kind of. That was.
It was between flight and teleportation because I didn't know how bad you've had hiccups before. I've had hiccups that just like caused headaches and caused pain and the diaphragm and all that stuff. Just
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, and to do that for 24 hours.
I mean, take Tylenol, I guess.
Does Tylenol stop hiccups?
For the pain.
No, that's true.
No, they were. That was equally horrifying as it was fun. So, good job. Jesus.
Well, that's true.
No way, man.
You can't teleport when they're mugging you, but then you got hiccups for 24 hours. I'd rather be lost and just call an Uber or something than have hiccups for 24 hours. So.
No, I'd rather just deal with the hiccups because then you go anywhere. Like I guess flight, you still go anywhere, but
That's true.
Oh, that was good. Well done.
Donnie's dropping spoilers for Grey's Anatomy, so up in the chat here.
You could land somewhere. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, see, hiccups can kill you, man. That's scary.
Well, these hiccups wouldn't kill you. You just have to deal with them for 24 hours.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I don't know if hiccups can kill you. Isn't that an old wives' tale?
I don't know. I'll believe it until. I mean, I'd rather not find out.
Can you stop yourself from having hiccups?
Yeah, a couple different ways.
Oh, do you do the water, the hold the breath, all that stuff?
The sugar, yep.
The sugar. Oh, yeah, like a spoonful of sugar or something like that?
Back of the tongue, yeah.
Interesting. Back of the tongue? Why does that matter?
Like, because it makes you dip back, stick your tongue out. It does something when you swallow. I don't know. It always the back of the tongue, and it always worked.
I think only once or twice have not been able to stop myself from hiccuping since I was about a teenager. And it's all I do is I just try to relax all the muscles around my lungs and stomach.
Right.
Works.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as there's a hiccup, deep breath and hold it. There's a whole bunch of different ways.
Donnie says drinking water upside down. I can't even drink water laying down.
Drink water from the other side of the cup. That's the one that works. Instead of drinking water like from the edge that's closest to you, you lean over it and drink from the other side.
That can't be right. You're just trying to make me get water all over myself.
I mean, one, yeah, that would be fantastic, but two, that it works.
Holding your breath. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the holding the breath is closest to what I do because I'm trying to relax everything, including my lungs. So it does kind of hold breath, but I don't take in air and hold breath. I just kind of try to relax all muscles kind of thing.
The second comment up about the disrupt your diaphragm from convulsing, that's leaning over to drink from the other side. You're condensing what's going on there, so it stops it. I don't know. It always worked for me.
I've never heard that one. Interesting. Okay, so your guess for me came with pictures that I get to share here. Do you want to set it up before I share, or do you want me to just go ahead and turn on the first image?
I know. I'll set it up. So there are 7 images. Hopefully they'll be done in the correct order. The first one I sent you. Well, I hope if you do them in order, you should be fine.
They're
There are 7 planets.
They're going to be in alphabetical order.
They're not in alphabetical order. They're in the order I sent you.
Well, the order that they're going to show are going to be in alphabetical order.
That's fine. I'll just adjust it. That's okay.
Okay.
That's whatever you want to do is screw everything up. Yeah, scare yourself. That's perfect.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I picked 7 popular planets in Star Wars lore, and I'm curious which one. You're not a Jedi. You're not in the Empire. You get to pick yourself a planet to live on.
I'm just me?
You're you living on one of these planets.
Can I live anywhere on the planet? As long as it's on that planet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see why not.
Well, not all the planets are just one environment. I mean, George Lucas, for whatever reason, was like, every planet only has one environment, as if ours is the only one in the galaxy or universe that has more than one environment. But
Right.
some of them might have different ones. Like, for instance, if it was Naboo, I could live above water or below water with the Gungans, right?
I'm going to assume you would never pick underwater with the Gungans. But yes, you could live under or over.
Why would you think that?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
might want to live with the Gungans.
You want to deal with that all day? It's like having hiccups for 24 hours every day for the rest of your life. No way.
Means I love it.
No way. So yeah, 7 planets. I have mine highlighted on the one that I think you would. Now I'm starting to second guess my thing.
Probably not Alderaan.
Definitely not Alderaan.
Hanging with the Wookiees. That'd be kind of cool.
I'm sticking with mine.
Okay.
All right. So number.
All right. So number 1 is that looks like Bespin to me.
Are you shitting me?
I told you it was going to be in alphabetical order.
Oh, fine. Yep, that's Bespin. Unbelievable. You really are doing it in alphabetical order?
I can't help it. I put all the files in a folder, and Windows automatically put it in alphabetical order.
Fine. So that
Why does it matter?
It doesn't. I just had them 1 through 7 on my list.
Well, do you even need to see the list? Like, I know what that is.
Yeah, no, I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, so yeah, that's Bespin.
Cool image too. I'm guessing that it's actually Cloud City because the rest of Bespin is just a big cloud giant.
Yes, well, yep. So it would be in Cloud City. Yep.
Okay.
I mean, unless you wanted to get some kind of floating ship and just hang out in the clouds all day.
Question: is it Bespin before the Empire kind of took over, or after?
Say that all of these are at its peak.
Okay.
Whether that's before or after they get shat on by the Empire. Just say like it could be its peak all the time.
Bespin, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, but Bespin is nothing but a cloud giant, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, so that's what they're. What is it they were taking out of there? It actually said what they mine out of the clouds. I'm trying to remember now.
That's a good cut there. I don't remember.
I can't remember now. All right, and next one is Tiny.
Wow. Yep. Super tiny. It's a tiny Coruscant.
So that's Coruscant. Full city world. No trees.
No trees.
No trees. I can mind control all I want.
No, that's not true. Padme's thing had trees or plants. Does plants count? Do you throw up if you see a plant?
It's got to be a tree.
Yeah, so you might be safe.
There is the great tree on top of the Jedi temple, but all I have to do is avoid that.
Yeah, that's true.
What we got next? I gotta go back to the. This is weird. These images are so small for some reason. Well, is that Hoth?
It's Hoth. Why is it so tiny? It's weird.
I don't know. But that's Hoth. That's a cool image of Hoth.
Yeah, I like that one.
Basically, orbital batteries there.
I figured they can't all be pleasantly hot and sunny, so maybe an ice planet. Maybe you like the snow. You're in Texas, so I would assume not, but maybe.
I mean, I haven't been able to go walking for like a month because it's 108 degrees outside, but I don't want to trade it for freezing to death either.
Okay.
It's going to be a happy middle.
I would prefer the ice over the heat because you can always put on another layer to get warm. There's only
Yeah.
so many layers you can take off to stay cool.
I've said that before too. I always prefer cool over warm or cold over hot.
Yep.
What is this, Naboo?
Ooh, no.
Hold on, let me zoom in here.
It was mentioned in the comments already.
Alderaan?
No.
No. Rhodia?
Nope. You would definitely throw up if you were on this planet and had that ability.
Oh, Kashyyyk.
It's Kashyyyk.
So the Wookiee homeworld. Okay. I didn't think they had all this white all over it. Look at that. That's interesting. Huh. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not really a huge nature person. Like I don't mind it and stuff, but it's not like I want to just live in a tree all my life.
Well, it's not the Ewok village. You're not living in a tree. You're living amongst the Wookiees in a forest.
Yeah, but they like build their stuff all around those giant trees and stuff, right?
Yeah, I guess. But it's not like you're in the treetops with the teddy bears.
The teddy bears. I mean, that's almost better, but
sure.
I don't know.
Stay away from predators.
Yeah. I gotta zoom in. Is that Tatooine?
No, it's not. That's Mandalore.
Geonosis? That's Mandalore?
Yeah, it's the one that I was having a hard time finding a good picture of that was animated and garbage. It's Wikipedia and it's an image of what Mandalore looks like. So that one is Mandalore.
All right. Well, I know Mandalore has like a lot of kind of arid land and stuff like that, but they also have nice cities.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind. I'm a city person, so
seems like a smaller Coruscant, right? Less bustling.
Yeah, but there's some nature out there too. Now that's Naboo.
That is Naboo.
Yeah, that's Naboo. I mean, Naboo's kind of a paradise place. It's kind of hard not to say Naboo right off the bat.
Yeah, but you got fucking Jar Jar you got to deal with.
I get to go visit Jar Jar. That's what you're saying.
Nope.
Tatooine. I already talked about the heat. That's 2 suns. That's worse.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely not the desert for me. That's the last one? All
right.
Right. Huh?
That should be 7.
Yep. So Mandalore. If I'm on Mandalore, I got to deal with all these hotheads wanting to be an awesome warrior. Kashyyyk, Hoth, Coruscant. I like the city, but not that much city. Plus, it looks kind of polluted. Bespin would be pretty cool. Again, though, all city. Yeah, I gotta stick with Naboo. It's a paradise. And you got city, you got nature, you've got underwater cities to go visit. That's my pick.
Yeah, that's the way. Even though with Jar Jar, I was trying to stray you. Even though with Jar Jar, that's the one I would have picked. The one I guessed I would pick it. But that's the one I guessed. Actually, I'd probably go with Kashyyyk.
Dan likes pink people. Apparently, wants to go to Zeltros.
Nice. Well, that was a deeper cut. I tried to stick with ones that people knew.
Yeah,
most people knew.
Yeah, Naboo is the nicest.
Yeah.
So this is the one you thought I'd pick?
That's the one. Yep.
Yeah. I if it wasn't this, it might be Bespin because I mean, honestly, that was it's not just from this picture, right? But
cool picture.
The clouds and stuff like that. When they redid the look and feel of all the Star Wars, like digitally remastered it and all that, the backgrounds that they put on Cloud City whenever they walk past the windows and stuff,
right?
It's gorgeous. So
yeah, the only reason it's nice, but the only reason I think it would kind of grow old is you can't just like go outside and take a walk, right? You're stuck on this floating fortress kind of thing.
You don't think that they have like little gardens and stuff up here, maybe? Because that it was breathable.
Sure.
Luke Skywalker was out there in the open breathing.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I feel after a while, like if you're gonna live your days out on there, you're gonna see the same gardens all the time, right? You're not just like, and then you need a ship to go somewhere else. I mean, I don't know. It just seemed more like being trapped than it did like the paradise in Naboo or even hanging out in the nature of Kashyyyk.
It's a whole city though. So imagine like if New York City, right, went up into the sky.
Mhm.
And you could go somewhere else if you want, but you got to take a Uber ship or something,
Sure.
and fly down to somewhere else. That wouldn't be that big of a deal, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And plus, I think everybody gets their own ice cream maker on Bespin.
I read that somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, Bespin's my second pick.
Hmm.
Yeah, huge spaceship. Except, I don't know. They never showed it, but I would guess that there's some nice gardens and open areas and stuff like that on the outside. I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe.
But it was all built to be kind of beautiful and stuff, right? So
Yeah, it's like the Axiom, right? And Wally.
yeah. Ah, cool. Speaking of Star Wars, let me turn off our. So Star Warsing, I finally got to play my RPG game in real life after a year and a half almost, and it was a really weird switch. So for those that don't know, I GM a Star Wars game, and again with 5 players, and we've been doing it on Zoom for over a year. Man, it's so hard to get all that together for Zoom because you have to make all of the maps, everything. You don't know where people are going to go. So if I want them to go into a large ship, I got to make the entire ship basically, because I don't know if they're going to go, I'm going to get in this elevator. I can't just be like, that elevator doesn't work. Okay, that elevator doesn't work, because then it just feels lame. It doesn't feel like a sandbox game, right?
Sure.
So it was just so much work we do it every 2 weeks. So it was nice when I prepared for this time. All I had to do, I just drew out real quick, like the area that I thought they'd be in. And if they at some point said, I'm going to get on a speeder and just drive off, then I could be like, okay, and walk out there. Like we have a grid map. I guess, I don't know, what is it, like beige color or something like that? And you can draw on it with wet erase and then wipe it off and draw new stuff. So if they go somewhere I didn't plan, I could just in my head go, okay, here it is. And I still kind of look down behind my shield as if I'm looking at something. That way they don't know if it's something new or something I planned.
Right.
And it was just really nice as a GM to do that. And it was even better like when you do a Zoom thing with a bunch of people, and you might have even noticed it whenever we get a lot of people on here, but you have to kind of talk in turn.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like whenever you're on here with like 6 or 7 people, you have to kind of wait for that moment, then talk. Whereas when you're in a real group in real life, someone can say something over someone else and you hear it.
Yep.
And here Zoom kind of picks which one you get to hear or something.
Yep, that's true.
There's just no beating the real life experience. Glad we had Zoom to do it. But.
Oh, sure. There's a lot of things that exist because like we had to make it exist for us to be able to play stuff, right?
Right.
But none of that really, I mean, it probably still would have been there, but all the different platforms for digital gaming, probably not all of them would exist right now. It wouldn't be as popular. And I don't know, one of our other episodes is it dying out? How long is it going to stick around because people can get back together again? Are people really looking to play online on Friday nights? Or, like, I guess maybe, yep. Where's your shield? Put your shield down. There's no button or remote for that? You have to manually do it?
Yeah, you have to manually do it. There's a little button right here. I don't have the batteries in it, though. And it lets you talk or something, too.
Oh, cool.
So yes, I wish the blast shield came down. This doesn't actually come down. I would use it for blindfolds all the time. I meant to put this on whenever you were showing planets.
Oh, yeah. Should put the Boba one on.
Yeah, if I had picked Bespin, I would have grabbed Boba's head.
Sure. Yeah, it's definitely different being in person again. I don't miss the digital, although it's convenient when some people still aren't able to be at gatherings or be at places. I know people swear by not playing digitally because It's less than ideal. It adds more time to gameplay. It's nice for setup and breakdown, but it's a pain in the ass. Even going back to like the beginning of all this chaos with like Gen Con Online and trying to show people games digitally, and the learning curve of not only do you have to teach the game, but wait a minute, how do I roll a die? Wait, how do I draw a card? Like everything about that that's why I think Peter's idea of doing like a video of real life online gaming would be super funny. But yeah, it's got its benefits, right? And for your case, the ability to adjust on the fly when someone does something that wasn't planned for is easier to be like, okay, well, here you go, rather than hold on, let me do something, and then you just kind of lose that momentum and things like that, right?
Yeah, it was D6, by the way. It's modified D6.
There you go.
That's what I do. I'd love to see that video that Peter talked about, but and I know a lot of people have gotten back into board games as well. And I have too. I started doing board games with the group and stuff like that. But as far as like role-playing games go, if you're being the GM, it's just like 20 times more work to do it virtually. At least for me, it was. I guess because I'm so picky. So it's just really nice.
I wouldn't say you're picky. I would say that you're very detailed. Like from what I understand of how you've been rocking this thing for how long you've been doing it, you're very detail oriented on what for the experience of the player, right? What they're going to experience in your game. It's not just some haphazard like, oh, let me just think of something off the fly. Like you have it really, maybe not fully mapped out, although I think you do have it mapped out. In your head, everything is planned. If they do this, if they X, Y, Z, like these are the people I can call for. These are the people that they've seen before. Everything that you've told me about it is like very detailed.
So for those that hadn't heard what it is, basically I started everybody off as 9-year-olds during episode 1 time. And so they're the same age as Anakin throughout the whole thing.
Who's Anakin?
What was that?
Who's Anakin?
Yeah. Well, to them, they wouldn't know. They don't have anything to do with any of the main characters or the main plots that are going on. But we've now been doing this for about a year and maybe about a year and a half. And now they are 19 years old and in the first few months of the Clone Wars. So I'm just going to, I do have a plan of when it ends, but I haven't told them when it ends because I don't want them to think like, whenever you play like Pathfinder or D&D or something and your GM says, oh, you're going to go to level 20. Well, if I'm at level 16, I know there's still more to come.
Right.
And I just don't want them thinking that way. I just want them just kind of living their Star Wars-y life, But yeah, so it's been pretty crazy. All kinds of stuff happened. And I have written some emails that kind of like made me tear up because characters have died and stuff. Like we just had a big funeral for the Jedi who raised one of the an ex-Jedi who raised one of the players, and I was just like, whew, like it was hard to write. We actually cared, and the player called me and said, "Man, that was rough to read and be a part of." Because we do, like I told you before, we do side episodes.
Yep.
So not only the gameplay every 2 weeks, but I send emails and we have little email stories going back and forth. And I've got like over 100 NPCs that every character has had dealings with in one way or another.
Which is amazing because then when you're getting back together and you're having this group and something comes up that I've seen in an email and that the other group, wait, how do you know that? Like it's so cool the way you have it set up. It's amazing.
Yeah, I can't say this because some of them watch this, and there are many instances where someone says something to another person, and I know that person is going, oh no, do they know this kind of thing? Or what do they know about this thing? But they might not want to say so. Like there's all this stuff going on.
Cool.
And I had like for one time I had like this old Jedi guy walk up to one of the younglings players. She was 9, and ask her to get something for him. And she was like, okay. She went and got it for him or whatever, and thought that was weird. And then in a completely different email, that thing that he got, he used to go with another kid and like steal a car and do something. And it was all connected. And it wasn't until like months later, one of them just happened to mention it to the other one. And they were like, what? I helped them get that. Like it connected. I was just like, oh, that's awesome. Like I have no idea if it'll happen, if those connections will ever happen and stuff. But when they do, they pay off so great.
Yeah, sure.
And in other words, I'm just enjoying all this in my head is what's happening. I'm just a crazy person, but
It's really it's for your benefit, and they're just your puppets. Like you're just.
I mean, they really, well, I hope anyway, they really enjoy whenever those kind of things happen too. And it's also cool because I can bring in NPCs at any time, and somebody from the group will be like, oh yeah, I've been hanging out with this guy for years. He's doing this and stuff. It's not like I just sent them a little like story and go, hey, you know this guy from here to here. They go, okay. They really have stories and they tell the stories about what happened and stuff. So
yeah, it's pretty.
So and I also don't like running groups that are like evil or trying to backstab each other. So like they really care about each other and stuff. So I don't want to run it where like they're all keeping secrets from each other and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff that you just wouldn't tell another person because you wouldn't think to do it.
Right.
You know? So sometimes things just don't get talked about. And I'm like, oh, well, that's, that's how it is. And so it's fascinating. Yeah. But yeah, for the most part, it's just for my own pleasure reading that stuff.
It's so cool. I'm jealous when I hear the stories, and because I get a little bit of the behind the curtain that they don't because obvious reasons. But sometimes I'll hear something, I'm like, man, that would be so cool to experience. Like it's really smart.
I'm also running it like a series. We're in season 3 right now. And so I do like a whole season of about 9 or 10 games, and I call them episodes. And they have names, and I have on our adventure log, they can go back and read what happened each episode. So we're in season 3 now, and once that ends, we'll go into season 4. And every time there's a new season, it kind of jumps a year or 2 or something like that. So season 1 they were 9, season 2 they were 14, and season 3 they're 19.
So I know I forget his name at the moment, but there's a series that runs, or maybe they're all one-offs and they have some celebrities like play a character or whatever. But have you ever thought about like actually, I assume you're not recording them to be able to revisit or rewatch later, but would you ever do something like that where it was like this episode and we're running through a campaign like in that style where you've written all these kind of side things and interwoven stories and then actually like broadcast it?
I wish I had, because I didn't when I first put it all together, because there is one giant overarching story and a whole bunch of small story, like each season has its kind of villain and stuff like that. I wish I had, so that from the beginning to the end there'd be basically an episodic kind of adventure that people could follow along with. But the problem is that I didn't think that whenever I first developed it that this whole Zoom thing would be going on.
Right.
I just thought we'd be playing at the table. Had I known that, I probably would have thought to do it. But now that we're meeting at the table, would I have continued to record it? You know what I mean? And also the emails, like, you don't understand. We've written novels at this point. After a year and a half of writing emails back and forth, who's going to follow that other than them?
Sure.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. It's Critical Role does a great job of that. But you know what's weird? I was talking about this the other day though. Critical Role and other things like it. I don't know if you've watched RPG thing. I think Will Wheaton did one for a while and stuff like that. But what happens on those shows are fun to watch, but that has never been my experience as like my experience has for me been better than that because what they're doing is kind of an entertainment way to do it.
Mm.
It wouldn't be that fun to watch what we do, but it's fun to participate. It's kind of like board games. Like if you watch people play board games, yeah, that's okay. And you go, oh, that's interesting. Sometimes something funny is being said, but it's not as good as playing it.
Right.
And that's how I feel it would be if you were watching our RPG. Like you'd be laughing whenever we're making jokes and stuff, but it's just not the same thing.
Yeah, they get the cut and edit right to the side stories to let you know what's going on and why this happened or why that was funny. I guess
Right.
that movie magic would make it better.
Well, it's not even that though, but it's like all of the characters and all of the things that people do are kind of for comedic effect. You ever notice like people always do the silly thing, and so nobody's like ever doing these shows, or at least the ones I have seen. Nobody ever does these shows and just are really like I'm a serious person. I'm playing a Vulcan or something like. They're always like, I'm playing a Vulcan, but today I got the Ponfar, haha, and get people to laugh and whatever it is.
Yeah.
But that's not like the kind of story we're doing. Like we laugh all the time because we're telling jokes as players about what's going on, but our actual characters are serious people in the Star Wars universe. But they're fun to watch and stuff, but I wouldn't want to play in that because I would just feel like I wouldn't care if that character died because he's just a silly little gnome or whatever I'm playing,
Sure. Interesting.
But yeah, so it was fun to revisit just for the first time really dig into that game person to person. So
wait, that was
doing it.
That wasn't the first time you played in person this.
I thought so at the time, but they reminded me, no, we had played, I think 3 or 4 times maybe before, because we started late November, but then Christmas came. And so we played like maybe 3 games, I think. Then I went on a cruise. And then when I came back, the world was on fire. So of all times to go on the Dice Tower cruise, right?
The day you come back to port, like, oh yeah, by the way.
Yeah. They're like, we're not sure if you can fly back home to Texas. I'm like, I can get on I got on the plane and then everything just kind of fell apart after that. But yeah, it's weird to think that I was in Mexico just like 10 days before the shutdown.
Sure. There, Lance.
Why did he just say Battlestar Galactica?
He's done it every time he hops on. He talks about Battlestar Galactica. I don't know if you can see that little sign right there, but waiting for you, Lance.
Hey, you just missed the whole RPG discussion, Lance.
Yeah, Star Wars RPG.
Moving on now that Lance is here. No, we don't have to move on, but well, actually, let's move on. Let's talk about board games we've been playing. Are you playing anything recently? I talked all this talk about RPGs. What about board games?
Yeah, not since QSCon Tuesday last Tuesday. What did we play last Tuesday?
Do you not record your plays?
No, I don't give a shit.
I started this year. I didn't think I would enjoy doing it, but I really like just being able to look back and see what I played.
Yeah, it's one of the people we play with. Oh, I know what I did. One of the people we play with logs actually 2. I think Brett and Jonathan both. Tim might too. And I guess it is kind of convenient to be like, I don't know. Hey, I played that, or oh yeah, I did. Like, piss poor playing that one last time I played it. I don't know if I would actually go into, unless I was going shopping for games. Like, oh, do I have that game already? Like if I was at a flea market or at a convention where a whole bunch of people are selling games, then maybe I would want that information. But I could give 2 shits if I did really well the last time I played Terraforming Mars. Like, it's more about the experience and the fun I had at the table than, oh, who beat me or who did I beat? Like, I don't care about any of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it right here. The cool part about it for me is that I get to see how many I've won.
No, we've already established your records are all fake.
They're not fake.
All fake. They don't exist.
I would have a lot more wins on here if I was.
Would you?
Yeah, I've only won 42 out of 85. That's not even. Well, that's almost exactly 50%.
Yeah.
I'd give myself like 65% if I was lying.
No, because we can check that, right? Like we have video documentation of you saying you won or lost games. So eventually that would just catch up to you. So
I don't talk about all the games.
I guess.
I don't talk about the ones I won. I'm not being egotistical.
Sure.
Yeah, we had a game night this weekend. I played Everdell.
Nice.
Hadn't played that in a while with the what's the Pearlbrook, the little water one with the frog. I played the one expansion with the rabbit at one point. Have you seen that one?
No. Mention frog. You got to remind me to say something about a frog later.
Okay. Weird thing. But I haven't played the other expansion. I've had it for a while, so played Point Salad for the first time.
Ooh, what'd you think?
Yesterday or the day before? It was good. It was better than I thought it was. I don't know why I got it and then didn't open it for like 6 months. I remember seeing it and going, "Oh, that looks fun." Bye. Finally arrived and I just stuck it on the shelf. Because I mean, you learn it in 5 minutes and then play it in 10.
Right.
Play it again. Yeah, it was fun.
It
really is Point Salad.
Somebody in the chat, if I remember correctly, hates Point Salad. But I don't
see how it's like a big enough game to hate.
Like, I think it's fun. It's easy to teach, right? It's easy to play. You're getting into it pretty quickly. I don't know how much game is there, but you can't compare it to like Everdell or.
Right, but that's what I was saying is like it's like a 10-minute game. So how can you hate something that's only 10 minutes long?
Yep.
Oh, we found the culprit.
Mm-hmm. They can say what they want about it. I did.
That's impossible. It's only 10 minutes long. There's no way that can be the worst game you've ever played.
I can sympathize. Although I do like Point Salad, there is a 10-minute game that I played 2 Saturdays ago that was brought back to the table on Tuesday, and I refused. They were like, "No, it plays great at 7 players." I'm like, "Nope, there's no way I'm ever playing this game again."
What was it? Red Rising?
No. I would play Red Rising 100 times before I played this game again.
Oh, okay. What is it? I got to know.
Anomia.
I've seen that. I haven't played it though.
So anomia is the inability to come up with a specific word when asked.
Oh yes, you talked about this last episode.
Oh God. Oh
yes, I have played it. I remember I pulled up the images and I was like, oh, I have played this. Yeah, I don't like it because I don't like time things where you got to think faster than other people because I don't think faster than other people.
It's perfectly named, right? The title of the game fits perfectly. It's exactly what happens when you're playing, and I couldn't care less if it plays great at 7 players because we only played it at 3 players the first time. I never, ever, ever want to play that game again. So I can sympathize with Katya about Point Salad because it's one of those things I never want to experience again. So whether it was the people you're playing with or the game itself, whatever it is, there's something that triggers in a game like that where you're like, yep, screw that, never doing it again.
Is there a difference, and there might not be, but is there a difference between hating that experience and hating that game?
Yes.
So there is a difference?
I think so.
So would you say that you hated that experience or that you hate that game?
In that example, I hate the game. Hating the experience, I'll talk about Red Rising. The first time I played Red Rising, Bobby turn 1 knocked a card out of my hand. Bobby turn 2 knocked a card out of my hand. Absolutely horrible experience. I had 3 cards. There was no way I was competing. But then the second and third time I played it, it was actually, I taught it. So I guess I was, I don't know, reinforcing like some sort of scheme that can happen in the game. But I had a much better time where I revisited it again. But the experience I had with Anomia, I never want to revisit it again, ever. Like, never. Like, ever. So I think there is a difference between experience, and that can happen, right? The people that you're playing with. You have someone that's quarterbacking. You have someone that's, really trying to take over, tell you what to do on your turn. Or we've experienced this on Tuesdays. There are people that used to come and like lean over your shoulder and tell you what to do on your turn that aren't even playing the game. That could be a shitty experience. Right. It could be a shitty experience with people like at the table and maybe not the game. But then there's just a game where you're just like, nope, like I don't ever want to play it again because of the game.
Yeah. So if the game is the thing that creates the shitty experience,
right,
then that's a bad game. Okay. Yeah, I could understand that. So you can't imagine a scenario in which you would want to play Anomia with another group or in another way.
Nope.
Without house rules or something like that.
No. So I stood around and I listened and watched them play the first couple rounds, reinforcing the fact I did not want to be at the table. Then I walked away and watched a couple people play Rebellion, Star Wars Rebellion. Right? I hadn't played it before. I was looking at all the cool little ships. Like, this is really cool. Why aren't these Star Destroyers up on plastics? And they were just raucous laughing, like having a great time playing that game. And no point was I like, man, maybe it is fun. I was like, not glad they're having fun, but nothing drew me back to what am I missing? It's not that type of thing. It's like getting anxiety over a real-time game, right? Like if Escape Curse of the Temple, having that timer go down or watching a sand timer go down drives you to get to this anxious level. It's not a fun experience. And the game is causing it, not the people. Or if you're playing a game and some.
Uh-oh. I hope that's Mike and not me. Of course, there's no way for me to know that. So maybe tell us in the chat if we lost Mike or not. If we have, maybe it's just my evil doing since it's been almost an hour here, and we can end. Let me see if Mike's still around. I like that it froze right there mid. Okay, Mike is frozen. Well, you know what? It's 57 minutes, and I said we're going to end at an hour. I've used my evil mind control ability, and I haven't seen any trees, so that's a good time to end the show. Yep, he's gone. So thanks for watching. If you want to hear Mike complain about his internet, you can go to our Discord channel, go into the Bat Cave. Yes, cliffhanger. We'll talk about it next week. Go into our Discord channel. It's in the description for our YouTube show, and tell us what you think. All right. See you guys later. Thank you.